Hello and welcome. Well, it's time. Clears are done. And well, what a race it was. And now it's time for the big boys, as some may call it. Porsche Cup here live from Silverstone. The penultimate round, the second of a double header. And well, it's been a season of action and drama. I'm Tim Cox with Alex Simpson, Apex Racing Team manager. And well, it's almost like that never gets old. I enjoy hearing that. I enjoy hearing that.
It's a funny thing, right? You know, this.
It's just little old me.
We set this up as it was a hobby. This is what it was, you know. It's crazy, you know. I'm sat in the studio, and this is what come from a hobby that I started doing. 2010. Yeah, late 2010. Roadmasters F1. 2010 it was. What got me into it, and then iRacing a year and a bit after that. So yeah, crazy. But yeah, so like it's funny when you say that. But hello everyone, good to be here. Sorry I'm not Sam Fitzpatrick. I just seen him actually. He's back. He's had a week away at Porsche garages actually. So yeah, perfect timing.
Taking one of the Apex Racing simulation rigs around there, hasn't he?
Yeah, they've had like a big staff thing for their 75th anniversary, and some invited guests to come and use the sims and have a play and things like that. So yeah, it's good. It's good to be able to interact with brands like Porsche in the real world as well as put on events like this for, you know, everyday sim racers to have fun and experience the car.
Oh, definitely. And well, as only a couple of weeks ago, Thomas Cope, one of our drivers, he popped along for the race, was down literally right below our feet, taking part in the race as it was happening, and well, then popped up in the studio for afterwards. You want to come along yourself, more than welcome to drop us a message to hire one of the rigs, take part in, of course, one of the many championships we have here at Apex Racing TV, or even just for a bit of a laugh yourself and your mates, or even pick up a few pro tips from one of the drivers who might be lurking around. You never quite know. But well, let's take a little look back. A week ago at Le Mans, gutted that I missed it. And well, what a race it was. It was absolute iconic. See it in the, see it running in the background right now. Actually, we've got some live pictures actually going on of qualifying in the foreground there. But yeah, 1 week ago it was all about, well, pretty much Nick Madsen, or Nick Madsend, I think he needs to be renamed. Let's be honest, because qualified down in, I think it's 28th place, and then just quietly peeked his way through the field and, well, challenged for the victory. You see one of the many overtakes that he had. I mean, what a sight to behold. Porsche Cup screaming down the Mulsanne straight, down into Mulsanne corner. And of course, well, himself, Marriott, I mean, those two have been scrapping away so much this season. And, well, a little bit of an unexpected guest just in the background there. But, I mean, Le Mans, it's such a classic circuit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love that circuit. I hate watching it during pest races because you just don't know what's going to happen at all. But yeah, from a neutral point, when you're watching these guys just go at it, yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like, makes for some great racing. The slipstream down there as well, and yeah, like I say, Porsche sounds amazing. I imagine being there, hearing them in real life screaming down the Mulsanne is an experience. Yeah, one I haven't experienced. I think I need to put that on the bucket list.
Oh, you need to. I've been and done it.
Le Mans 24.
Did Le Mans 24 last year. Like, if you've never seen live motorsport, I implore you, just go and do it. Find a way. Just the sounds that the cars invoke, absolutely spectacular. But well, yeah, it was a bit of an unexpected victory there, but I mean, Madsen, that contact he had with Marriott really put paid to his race and what could have been an absolutely astounding result. One that if you've missed it, where were you, first of all? Welcome along first, primarily, but where were you? For the back of the grid, Jack Wilson, earlier on in the Clio Cup, picked up that epic victory for Effect. His teammates, in effect, they're racing tonight here, of course, back at Silverstone, and, well, I think they'll be hoping that Jack's rubbed off on them. Not literally, that's probably not my best choice of words, but some of his luck has, shall we put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. I think if they can get some good results, I think they'll be happy. Follow where he's kind of left off. So. Yeah.
Now we've got qualifying information just going underway right now. Let's just take a little look at the championship standings and what last week's results meant and did to them. Maxime Marriott still leading the way. Nicholas Nold, he's in second with Manson in third. And they've got, the ever-smiling Philip Hammer, Thomas Cope, who, of course, was with us only a couple of weeks ago here in the studios downstairs, racing away. And Mario Volgert in sixth. As for the Pro-Ams, well, slightly different story there, excuse me. Haridas Utorses, he's been in a bit of a league of his own to start off with, but Quattrop, he's catching slowly. Just, 39 points the difference there. Yeah, Alfonso behind this. Well, some great names in here. Andrea Del Piccolo, Salvatore Lane, and Max Furtwängler. Really not leading a charge, but the gap's starting to emerge. But that gap looks 5th and 6th, 1 point separating Lane and Furtwängler. Into the AM category, well, that's Ed Eisenring. It's all about him right now. 30-point difference between him and Forsten Seifert. Stromeri in third, then it's Zanon, Patuntu, and Nathan Willoughby inside the top six. Bit surprising. I mean, he's had some torturous times at times, to say the least, but, well, up there, still inside that key top six and appearing on our graphics here at Apex Racing TV. But Alex, let's talk Silverstone. We've seen it in the Clios. Great action. Porsche Cup, what are you expecting from here? Yeah,
much of the same. I think the Porsche Cup is suited for this. We see it like the Carrera GP Championship. You know, it's a great circuit for it as well. Bit of everything. You know, the Porsche, obviously, rear engine car loves loves some long sort of sweeping corners and things like that. Maybe a bit of oversteer in some places. We'll see a few mistakes or something, but I think we'll see some good overtaking. I think it'll be a good fun race. I think you're absolutely spot on, but let's find out for certain. We're going to head to a quick break now. We'll see you on the other side. We'll be live trackside for the rest of qualifying and, of course, some epic racing. We'll see you shortly.
Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Welcome back. Qualifying quite well underway. I can tell you, Nick Madsen leading the way. Currently on your provisional pole. Samuel Jordan, not too far behind him. Tight times as always in this championship. Literally places. Our top three, in fact, being separated by 0.07 of a second. It's almost like Pesca in town with that sort of competitiveness.
I was about to say that's pretty crazy. Yeah, nothing between them there. Yeah, great job, guys. Yeah, let's stop it now. I mean, they're probably sure that some of them won't, but I love seeing it that close.
For me, though, it's that intriguing battle for 7th. Corey Lazarus is 7th. The difference between him and Dom Roberts currently in 12th for effect. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, we're going to include Victor Taras in that one. It's what? About 10th and a half? 10th and a half.
about, what, some 7-8 places? That's how close we are. That is how close we are. And, well, it's Nicholas Nold there, of course, winner last time out. He's making up that top 4. Who's going to take victory here today? That's one of the big questions we need to ask. But still, plenty of qualifying left to be done as Philip Hammer just slots up into 5th. And those times, they're starting to tumble down. It's starting to get really tight at the top as well. And more people joining that close party.
It's great to see how close the grid is. Purely on the fact that you know that a lot of these guys are racing this car a lot. And I know when it first sort of started, the Porsche coming into iRacing and perhaps switched focus a little bit from like the Grand Prix cars and things like that. From I'm just talking about like when I was driving. So sorry for showing the age and stuff like that. But there was some concerns like is this gonna take off as a series and a car, be popular and be able to sort of take the reins on sort of competitive iRacing, and it is great to see it sort of stand on its own 2 feet. It is up against the Goliath that is the GT3 series. So many people do that, and still the Porsche just keeps on bringing in the drivers, the Cup Series. It's not an easy car to drive. It's
it's not. There's no ABS, no traction control.
It's a handful, and yet people love doing it, and people master it. And there's so much competition for everyone out there. We were sort of talking about the Clio being close, and always being able to find someone to race against. This is crazy.
It isn't. Yeah, even the officials still ever so popular, and well, Lauscher he's improved over to 15th. Solid result for him so far. So we come down to the dying stages of qualifying. Of course, back to the heat format this evening. 2 10-minute races, of course. Everyone with the odd-numbered qualifying spot. So that's Madsen, Cope, Hammer, et al. They will head into Heat 1. All those with an even. So Jordan, Nold, Young, etc. Well, it's Cope. Where's that come from, Thomas Cope? Right at the depths. Saying how close it was at the top. They're separated by hundredths of a second. Not tenths, hundredths. And then all of a sudden he goes 2 tenths quicker than absolutely anyone on track. Where's that come from?
I wonder if the circuit's calling a little bit. Maybe there's a bit more time out there, or did he just catch the right amount of draft in the right places and kind of get it done? There's a few things that can affect it on open qualifying. So, yeah, what a lap.
I mean, that's especially this late on in qualifying. There's going to be a few drivers going to struggle to beat that one for certain. And this is for all the various categories. This is certainly through them. So, of course, Corey Lazarus, he is the top qualifier in Pro-Am. Of course, there's little green demarcations next to their names. They're Pro-Ams. Of course, red being the Pro. And white, they are the Ams. I was about to say Lazarus and McBride will be in the same one. But there's something, I'll tell you what, the track's getting faster and faster. Can you tell? Because Cope put in an amazing lap to go 2 tenths quicker than anyone. Madsen said, okay, watch this, hold my beer, and then goes 2 tenths faster than Cope. I mean, that's nearly half a second quicker than his previous best, Madsen.
Yeah, I mean, is that track conditions, or are the tyres getting into that optimal? I know they can be a bit cold and it can take a while to come in. Obviously, we see a lot of drivers in the official races do, weave in and all sorts, in pit lanes and things like that to try and get the best out of them. Maybe it's just taking that a little bit of time to get the tyres into that optimum range, and now we're really starting to see the guys that have kind of got that nailed come to the top.
Cream rising to the top. 10 seconds left in qualifying. Who's going to make it across? Taras is going to be close, and he's improved in every single sector. He'll hope to try and nip it over the line. It'll be close for him in the dying seconds. 15th at the moment. Will he get in? No. Oh, no, he did. Apologies. He did. He just got over the line in time. I didn't think he was going to do it. He gets himself all the way up into 8th. Great result.
Not too bad.
That's not too bad.
I'd take that.
Yeah, most certainly. Let's take you through, of course, Heat 1. We're going to get things underway. Top 10, they're going to get straight into the grand final if they can finish there. Here's your grid. Nick Madsen starts on pole with Samuel Jordan next to him. Row 2 sees Nicholas Nold, joined by Aidan Young. Row 3, Keanu Bushman. There's Matthew McBride for company. Albert Kottrup and Samuel Bakema on row 4. Row 5, It's your top AM qualifier in 9th. Cypher ahead of Adele Piccolo to round out your top 10. And it's Collishaw and Willoughby from row 6. Row 7, that sees Pasquale and Zanon, the all-Italian row. Tommy Moljord has Petro Espanhina for company. And then it's Matteo Stromeria and Olaf Sorchuk to run out your 18-car grid here in Heat 1. 10 minutes. That's not a lot of laps around Silverstone, is it? I mean, these cars are a lot quicker than the Clios we saw earlier, but even so, not a lot of time.
It's going to be frantic. These first couple of laps, I think that's the key. That's when you need to get the moves done, and yeah, see if you can get yourself into essentially a transfer spot.
Never mind Alba's out. Alba's fully sharpened to the absolute max, but it's waiting for... Well, Nick Madsen doing the traditional, leaving it to the last second there. That's the last car to take to the grid. There is everyone just lined up, waiting patiently for the Dane to head to the grid, and then we can get you underway racing. As mentioned, first of 2 heats. Top 10. They're getting in the transfer spots. They're heading straight through to the final. How many AMs we're going to see come through? As everyone is on the grid. And here come the lights. Now let's get ready to go racing for the first time this evening in the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup as we are green. And we are away. An initial bit of a launch from Jordan, but they just spun the tyres up and he loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places off the start. Oh wow, from the front row. Second place down to 8th, and Jordan is really in a dogfight right now, and he's really stuck down in that midfield. Certainly where he wasn't hoping to be, where he wasn't expecting to be, as they're all sending it in on one another, and they're free wide on the exit of Village and into the loop. But contact there. Wow, 4 or 5 cars involved. There's Pina, Moljord, Pasquale, and Zanon all at the back of the field. I mean, some of the drivers in front of them and around them would be happy with that one. Oh, Collishaw just sideways there on the exit out of Aintree. So we head down the Wellington straight for the first time towards Brookland, Luffield. The front group, they're playing that a little bit safer. It's more at risk for them. It was everyone in the back, but I tell you what, Olaf Sorchuk from the back row of the grid, he's up 6 places, he's into 12. It's only 2 points away from one of those magical transfer spots, Alex.
Like I said, you need to do it on the early laps. Let's hope, yeah. So he wasn't one of the drivers that got stuck in. I'm not quite sure who it was. He just kind of sent it into to Village there. But I have no doubts that there'll be a protest being submitted for that.
I get the feeling that yes, those protest forms are already being opened and written out. That's for certain. But well, up front, it's Madsen leads from Nold, Bushman, Young, Quattrop, the Pro-Am driver. He's 5th overall right now. Good results so far for him. Then Jordan, well, recovering after that shocking start, so in 6 places, down to 8th. Now he's back up into 5th, so it's only 3 he's dropped, but even so, not the start he would have hoped for in these opening stages as the ATRS esports driver. Wow, you see him in the background. I was about to say he's clipping the sausage curves, but Quattrop and McBride really having a good squabble and getting their fair share of airtime as they launch the car up on 2 wheels, hitting those sausage curves.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Jordan at the start there. Let's say it looked like a good initial launch. Did it bog down or did he spin it up?
To me, it looked like he just spun the tyres up, and you say Gus got that initial bite of the clutch. Ooh, that's Aidan Young running in very deep, and well, he was in the top 4, and now he's down to 7.
Yeah, interesting to see what happens to him. They will get a stack of replays once the producers have just compiled them for us.
Well, I was going to say once things have settled down, but I just get the feeling, Alex, this niggling feeling, this is not going to settle down for the next, well, we're already at 3 minutes on the clock. I mean, I think we're going to squeeze in maybe 4, 5 laps.
Yeah, I think so. I think 5 makes about right. They'll just squeeze, yeah, like I say, they'll just squeeze that in and then complete the lap, so, yeah.
There we go. Here we go. It's all getting a bit compressed from Young backwards, and that's going to make it competitive. With top 10 being Madsen, Noel, Bushman, Jordan, Quattrop, McBride, Young, Del Piccolo, squeezing Brookhamer, and that's him up into 8th. Willoughby, he's in those last of those transfer spots, currently in 10th, and he's an AM driver. Well, I tell you what, he's not content with 10th. He wants 9th off of Boikema, who can sense the smell of a bit of blood because Boikema's just lost that place, maybe feeling a little bit vulnerable. However, Thomas Seibert, say Boston Seibert even, right behind him, his fellow AM driver. This is tough when you're locked in that middle of that, a three-car battle, isn't it? It's the worst place to be.
I mean, it is, but it's also the best place because you just egg them on a little bit to have a little battle, and there's always that chance that you can do that amazing.
Oh no! That's Sawchuk gone, and in the process, Seibert's got ahead of Willoughby. Oh, Sawchuk, he had that cracking start as well. He's still at 3 places, which is respectable into 15th, but even so, I mean, he just tumbled through the order there. Gutting for the pole. Absolutely
one there. Yeah, we'll like to get a little look at, see kind of what happened. It was difficult to tell from that angle. But yeah, Willoughby obviously trying to get himself up and into the transfer spots. Always seems to be where most of the action is, doesn't it? Just outside those transfer spots. The guys not too worried at the start, fairly settled, and actually potential move.
Seibert's off. So now Willoughby's back into the transfer spots, and the German, well, after doing all the hard work, it all comes undone, and, well...
He's a long way behind as well. There's definitely not enough time to catch that up, so yeah, there'll be some frustrations in that cockpit right now for sure.
I'd imagine a few explosives may have been expelled from his mouth during that period, but...
I was going to say, we know you charmed us earlier on with some Italian. How's your German?
That's just Nick Goodyear. I can ask how do you get to the train station, how do you get to the stadium? It's when they reply, I've got no idea what the hell they're saying. But yeah, that's for another time, my lovely German. And let's take a little look at some replays of, well, what we've witnessed so far. We're just over half race distance here at Silverstone in Heat 1.
Start, yeah, look at how much he got swamped there. Jordan, that is crazy.
I mean, and then this is where it will happen. Right.
It's quite common to be there on that first lap. It's just unfortunate.
Collishaw then just lost on his own. Just a bit too much mustard. So that's that start that Jordan had, and you see just... Klaus to the left, Joker's to the right, and he's just stuck there in the middle, being overtaken left, right, and centre. There's Aidan Young just well.
Yeah, on his own as well.
Yeah.
Just the ABS that we were saying, lack of ABS can catch you out.
Wow. So, despite all the shuffling around, ups, downs, and rounds, we've still got the same quantities of pros and still the same quantities of pro-ams and the same quantities of AMs all making their way through to the final. However, Willoughby in a bit more slightly comfortable position, shall we say, in 10th with 2 seconds the gap over himself, and Stromeri, who's now the second place in class driver in the AM category. Espadilla seems as though he was caught up in that opening lap cacophony of melee and drama and crashes in the back of the grid. To be second in class right now, and I mean, if he can stay where he is, that'll put him on the front row, actually starting from pole in the consolation final, or as I like to call it, the losers final, because it's where I normally end up, and I'm not the best on iRacing. But I mean, that's a really strong place, and of course, not that many. I think there's 4 places up for grabs in the consolation race to get yourself into the final. So, I mean, starting from pole, exactly where you want to be.
Yeah, like I say, a good, help to try and get some good points, and I mean, don't count him out. Yeah, there's still, a few minutes left, a couple of places, and he's in the transfer.
I mean. We look at what we've already experienced as further down the field, Collishaw and Pasquale just training places left, right, centre, and a bit more. There's McBride, Del Piccolo, currently hunting him down. That's your battle for 7th place right now. Sorchuk's having a bit of a blink there, and that's why he leapt down and up again. Well, but I thought it would be intensifying, Alex. It's all calmed down.
And I feel like this is what we always expect in the heat races. Once the people settle into their top 10s, you know, it's like, right, okay, you know, we don't need to do too much. Let's go too aggressive. If you've got big gaps behind, which is why I think we've got McBride here, maybe, you know, thinking if he can get a place better up for the final, makes some sense, because there's not too much pressure from behind.
It is that additional, you know, you're going to be starting effectively a row in front of you, aren't you? So it's not about shout from the Italian to try and make that move. At least ask some questions, most certainly. Even if he doesn't necessarily try to, you know, answer them at all. But definitely worth asking. If you don't ask, you don't get. And Aidan Young there, he's going to be a bit disappointed by that one. He started in 4th, down to 6th place is the American, and it's that you know, unforced error that you make by yourself. It's just, as much as you're happy to be through, it's just left thinking, what if I hadn't have messed up? I mean, I say messed up, you didn't stick it in the wall. It was just only a bit of a lock and went straight on. Where could I have been? Where could I have been?
Yeah, I mean, quite clearly got the pace to sort of hold on to sort of like a 4th place. And like I say, he puts you in a good stead for the final. Madsen looking good though, built up a little lead, it was slow and steady. No, check flag comes out.
I tell you what,
we thought they were going to make it for another lap, but no, checker flag is out.
That is it. So it was 4 laps. That's all it took. That's all she wrote. Madsen wins. Nold through. Jordan Bushman, Kotchup, Young, McBride, Del Piccolo, Wakema, and the AM driver Nathan Willoughby are all into the final. They've picked up their ticket. We'll see them in a little bit. Coming up for you now, though, is the Heat 2 of this evening. And who's going to pick up this one? Who's going to get inside the top 10? 70 cars taking to the grid. Let's see how they are ordered. Thomas Cope, he's going to start on pole with Pascal Costa alongside him. Philip Hammer as Victor Taras. Of course, we saw that great last lap qualifying. Just squeezed it over the line in time, did the Romanian. And he starts for the 2nd row and top qualifier in Pro-Am. Corey Lazarus, he's behind him in 5th with Thiago Pereira. Dom Roberts has got Samuel Sproul for company. There's Ivo Laubcher and Larnay to run out your top 10 on row 5 of the grid. Then it's an all-Am row 6 with Eisenring and Rance. And Saharia and Sevilla, another all-Am row. And likewise, Bahontu and Kliss. Igor Kos, of course, qualifying by memory serves right. So he starts from the back of the grid. But here come the lights. Will it be as drama-filled? Let's find out as we are green and we are racing. And I tell you what, Cope's not had the best of the start. He feels threatened, goes defensive against Costa, who's on the inside line. But Costa's surely going to take the whole shot into turn 1. But Cope doesn't want to give it up. He wants to fight back with the spinner in the background there. I think that was Bahontu going wide and losing the rear end onto the brakes. And they're still all side by side. 2 long trains next to one another. It's like the start of a NASCAR race. It's not Porsche Cups in Silverstone. The Cope comes out on top of Costa. Lazarus and Hammer still going at it. Hammer and Tong there in that battle for 3rd place. Hammer's got past him. Robertson's had a good start. Taras has had a shocker. He's down to 6th under a lot of pressure. And, well, there you can see Taras trying to get his way past and get his way through. There's a
mistake there.
That is a mistake. Running a bit. Well, there's a car off in the background. That's Thiago Pereira.
Yeah, I was going to say as they were coming down the Wellington Straight there, a little bit cleaner, but just lots of little separate incidents, you know, rather than one large one at a village there. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate for a few guys out there, but looks like we've got a good battle on the front.
Bit of a lunge in the background there. That was from Larnay, but in doing so, he actually ended up losing a place to Laubcher. This is where he had to get a stamp on the brakes, but Robertson, the pressure from Lazarus is trying to make it 2 by 2. Coming into Mags and Beckett's, not what Roberts would have hoped. He wants to get on up the road. He wants to get after Philip Hammer ahead of them. He doesn't get drawn into this battle with Lazarus, Taras and Sproul and Larnay, and even Laubcher is right up with them. But yet again, look at that, we've got another Am in the transfer spots, Eisenring in 10th.
Yeah, amazing job, like I say, it's going to be, no.
It's Zaharia.
Did you just
guys the ring?
I'm just cursing. As soon as you did it, he lost it. What are you doing, Tim?
Come on, Ed. Come on, just fight it back. Then there's no curse in the commentator. It's not like well. Although Zaharia, he's gonna just gets it done. Just nips that one in the bud to knock Eisenring out of those transfer spots. And Eisenring couldn't even lose another place to Rance, who's right behind him. And Koss from the back of the grid. He's at 4 places so far, but seeing this happen in front of him, that contact there with Rance in front of him is not what he needed. And a change from the lead, this Costa is ahead of Cope.
Yeah, those two still pretty much side by side. Good exit from
That's from
Cope there as well. Yep.
Costa just couldn't find the traction there coming out of Aintree to get it done, get it secured. And Cope lives to fight another day in that first place, but there's purple sectors left, right and centre from other drivers right behind him. Definitely feels like he's slowing up the pack, backing it up. Is it from pace? Is it intentional to see Salvatore Lani there? He's got his webcam turned on. Up and along.
Yeah, thank you to Salvatore. I just want to say, I'd like to see more people share their webcam as well. It's great to see them, you know, getting into it, doing all their facial expressions and things like that.
My favourite is Philip Hammer, who is always smiling. Although, for a couple of weeks actually in the mid-season, it's just laser German focus, where you can tell he was really concentrating. There he is! His live spotter. And this is how I do believe. Not so much of the smile on his face this week, but he's sitting, I mean, it's amazing really. He's sitting so comfortably, and well, he's got a nice, you know, nice gap behind him to Roberts. Who's actually, I think, much to Roberts' release, he's no longer under threat and attack from Lazarus, Taras, and co. So, here we go. I'm talking of attacks. No, you can't do it around the outside there, Pascal Costa. That's a lovely little move, Alex.
Yeah, fully committed. Yeah, I thought for a minute he'd overcooked the brakes, but actually in the end I think...
Has Cope got a slow down? He's got a slow down. Oh no, it's all gone wrong for Thomas Cope.
Get it served quick, but like you say, it has lasting impact because it's going to definitely hamper where he's going to start the race. Still hasn't served it as well.
Oh, he just can't burn it off as hard as he tries. And he goes from first to 8th. Oh, it's all gone wrong for Cope, as that's now Lane on him, behind him, who wants to inflict even more damage. Not this, well, certainly, I mean, I think it's just where he took a bit too much of that curve on the inside of the corner, because that was the only thing I could see that was wrong with it at all. And well, I mean, Costa initially it wasn't the best getaway by Cope. Came under a bit of threat from Costa on that run into turn 1. I mean, it was certainly no start that we saw in race 1. But I mean, even so, I love seeing this side by side. Like the holding hands going round the first lap, just feeling out together.
And lots of room, lots of respect given to both drivers there, though, just to make sure they get through that. So spin, easy done, that's for sure.
I can definitely vouch for that one. Oh, that looks like some sort of hardware failure, I'd say. Pulling over to the side of the circuit like that. Yes, up and down the field. I saw some absolutely spectacular moves done by so many of our drivers onto the brakes. That's a lovely little one there. Now, is this going to provide us with some of the answers as to how Cope managed it? Does he run wide?
No,
that's the initial.
This was the this was where the
precursor.
wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Igor Cox. Just something's happened because we've lost a few. The orders jumbled up a lot. So Cope's up into 6th. Zaharia is all of a sudden, the AM driver's up into 8th. Igor Koss, who started from the back of the grid, is now up into 9th. And Eisenring is back inside the top 10. Something's happened here. And
While we were looking at the...
we were so engrossed in the picture-in-picture, we were only looking at one of the pictures and not the second one. And I've been hearing from our producers that been a bit of an incident involving Cope and a couple of the other drivers, and well, that's what's caused this big shuffle up and shake around. Who else was involved? I do wonder. We'll find out for you. Bring some more information on that one shortly, as we're 7.5 minutes already. Where has that gone? 3/4 race distance, which sounds baffling every time I say it, every single week. But nearly done and dusted with Heat 2, very spaced out, our top 10, not like we saw in Heat 1. Victor Taras, hopefully that's a drop in your internet there. Is it? Is it? He's gone for a while. That could be disappointing.
Second one in as many races we've had, Tim, unfortunately.
Well, it was. We saw it earlier in the Clio Cups, didn't we?
Just need to give it a bit more time.
Yes.
We were a bit hasty to look for the disconnect earlier, and
we were.
He was going to come back, but in the end,
we were indeed. And well, I mean, it's not looking good, is it? Laubscher, something's happened to him. He's into the pits. He might have had a bit of an issue. Well, I think we've got some more replays. We'll find out some of the things that we've missed off camera. Okay, so this is Costa overtaking Cope. Where's that slowdown, Alex? Is it from hitting that sausage?
I think he's already got it.
Now that's why. So Cope trying to make his way through the field, then has a collision going for the move.
That's a tricky one. Like, off of just initial looking, there's a little bit of moving under braking as well, which has probably made it a bit worse. So, yeah. Oh, there's the packet loss error as well.
Yeah, for Taras.
So, yeah, he's gone, unfortunately.
I mean, that's gutting because he put in that last, got across the line in the nick of time to put in an astounding qualifying in the Pro-Am. He's been one of the standout, shining lights within Pro-Am, has Victor Taras. And then have that happen to you does now mean there's the hammers in shot. Well, 1-2 for Germany. Pascal Costa and Philip Hammer. That's not a bad result. Roberts, he's going to be happy with that one, continuing on the rich vein of form that Effect have had in the Clios earlier on, and then Willoughby make it straight through to the final. Roberts is going to do that comfortably if he can just see out the last 10 seconds as they're on to the final lap here at Silverstone. And now, because Taras is disconnected, we've got 3 AMs heading straight through into the final out of this race to join Willoughby from the previous heat. I mean, there's barely going to be any AMs in the left, who haven't qualified. But that's just automatically. I mean, we've still got obviously the B final left to come here from Silverstone. That's coming up for you very, very shortly.
Here we go then. Checker flag is out.
Yeah. And that's it. Costa's through. So is Hammer, Roberts, Lazarus, Cope, Larney, Zaharia, Kos, Eisenring, and Chris Rance gets through too. I didn't look like he was going to, so that's a great drive for the Brit. I mean, he got Kos from the back of the grid up 9 places into 8th as well. That's a solid result. We'll be challenging though from the 8th row in the final, but never say never. Never say never. Anything is possible. Wow. That was eventful, wasn't it?
I tell you what, after the first few corners, I thought this one was going to be a bit more calm.
I had that impression.
But actually, no, just got a bit more tasty.
Well, and if anything, unlike the first race, the first heat, where that got calmer as things went on, this was on it, it flipped on its head. It was calm initially to start with, pretty much, and then it just built and intensified the more the race went on. I was just seeing less drivers come across the line. Just waiting on the Aussie Samuel Sproul. Blackout Motorsport. Sorry, New Zealander. I've just spotted enter, and also it's because I'm not wearing my glasses. The screen with the flag is too far away, and it's just only a small picture. I'm so sorry. That's Don't say someone who's from New Zealand, don't call him an Aussie and vice versa. So apologies for Samuel Sproul that, but he's crossed the line. He will go into the B final, which we're just about to get underway with. Let's take you through your grid. Strameri and Sevilla, they start from the front row. Then it's Espadina and Klist Cypher and Sproul are on the third row. With the fourth row, oh, that's so shocked. He had a disappointing one. Spinner late on, it means he's got to do it the hard way. Laubscher, fourth row for the pro driver. Then it's Zanon and Taras. Watch out for him. He'd be disappointed if, well, hopefully he's going to take the grid after that disconnect. I can tell you, yeah, he is on the grid. There we go. So who else have we got? We've got Collishaw, Hontu, Pasquale, Tiago Pereira, and Tolmi Molliard. Just waiting on a Sproul and
Some drivers on hits as well. Oh, jump start.
oh no, 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 no.
Don't know who that was.
It was in the midfield there. It was the one.
Someone else just didn't go as well.
Oh, they pulled it over.
Yeah. It's the worst, isn't it? You know it's done. You know the race.
It's Laubscher. That's who it was. Oh, there's a spin there into turn 1, 2. And is that Samuel Sproul gone as well? Oh, no, it was Clist, apologies. So it looks like we're going to lose, well, we're going to lose potentially one, well, I think certainly we're going to lose one of our pro drivers. That slight jump start, it only took literally a millimetre or two, but that was enough. There's Cypher, and wow, elbows out aplenty. Tiago Pereira locked in a battle there with Jordi Sevilla. Spain versus Portugal. Top 5, they will make it through. At the moment, it's Tremeri, Espadina, Sorchuk, Cypher, and Taras. Taras has had a good start. He's at 5 already. Ponte behind him is up 6. Tiago Pereira, he's up 6 too.
I mean, just good first lap. Good decisions, good lines, good lanes to pick, because there's not been any real major chaos to capitalise on. So yeah, I'd say just good choices.
I mean, Pereira is, excluding Laubscher, who I think we need to forget. I mean, that slight jump start, it's cost him dearly. He's out. He's just pulled the car, knows he's not going to make through. So Pereira will, well, he's got his work cut out here. If he's got to make up 3 more places to make it.
It really was good. Graphically, it's pants.
Yeah.
You know, the screen door effect. So as the tech gets a bit better and that kind of you know, improves, I think it really, like, if you do sim racing for fun, it is going to be the way to go once the technology improves.
I'm definitely in for that boat. Is that Tiago Pereira just getting nudged wide? And he made up a couple of places.
Interesting, 3 wide.
Oh, Collishaw gets turned.
The VR didn't help him. Any spatial awareness there, though, didn't it? I don't know.
Wow,
sorry, Paul. I'm not hitting on you, but he'd have seen that coming from both sides. He'd have been like, "What am I doing?"
Oh dear, it's never mind virtual reality, it's a reality check for Collishaw. He's dumped down to 12th place there. So I'm still giggling at your, you should have seen it coming, literally. Oh dear, dearie me. So not a bad result from Collishaw overall. I think we'll be relatively happy with that one. Now, let's take a look at this sit rep. We're 3.5 minutes in. Out of the 14. Strumeri leads from Espadina. Sorchuk, he's climbed 4, up into 3rd. Then it's Cypher. Victor Taras continuing. Oh, Sorchuk's got a spot. Espadina. What has he? It's not quite done yet. It's not quite done. Espadina edges back. Then it's advantage. Sorchuk, the nip and tuck. Sorchuk in the inside, but look for about that for an overlap. Oh, a bit of a lock up there from Sorchuk. Espadina looking for the switch back here, and what can Cypher do at the rear of this 3-car train?
Yeah, good aggressive driving from both of them, but still leaving a fair amount of space as well. That's what I'd like to see.
Nip and tuck. Sevilla and Sproul just swap around us in the battle for 9th place. Tiago Pereira. I mean, this isn't looking good for the pro, is it? Ponte will hold it behind, so in front of him. Maybe feeling like he's held up a little bit, well, based on ability. I mean, that's no disrespect to Ponte, who's no slouch whatsoever, but Pereira, they're going to make up 6 seconds in difference, plus a bit of change, just to get onto the back of Victor Taras. He's got 9 minutes to do this.
I mean, you never know.
That's about 45 seconds per minute he needs to make up. Sorry, 45 milliseconds per minute he needs to make up. 4.5 tenths, that's...
I say needs to get by this lap, no questions. Otherwise, definitely there's no chance.
Sorry, 7.5 tenths, apologies, ignore me.
Yeah, I would say
very fault moment.
It's doable. We've definitely seen that in the past, for sure.
On board with the Portuguese core motorsports driver.
Just got to, you know, get as close as you can, going up through, you know, Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel. Get a good exit out of Chapel. Losing a little bit of time, catches it through here. Beckett's.
His lines seem to be a lot neater and tighter compared to Ponto in front of him. He seems to be like always opting for a bit more of a later apex through the corners.
Yeah, just didn't quite pick up the gas as early as one. I think this is the thing with the Porsche Cup car as well, is you really do need to be able to have the confidence to drive right on the tail of the driver ahead. Bit of damage on the left there as well. Maybe it's affecting straight line speed too. That's got to be the same slowdown we saw from Cope, right? Just running a little bit wide. It's a cheeky little one out there, and again, I'll show my age in the sim. Is it never used to be there when I was driving?
No, not in the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear! Wow, there's 2 victims of it tonight. So it's still Mary. The AM driver's been really dominant here. 1.5 seconds is the advantage he has over Sorcha. We are spacing out our top 5, although Saras is pretty much closing in on Cypher. About half a second between those two. It was about 6 tenths, only literally about 2 seconds ago. So closing ever so slightly, but I mean, it's that tricky conundrum, isn't it? You know, you had in 6th place, a bit of championship points up for grabs, but in some ways it's like, how am I meant to catch up with Taris and co ahead of me when there's 7 seconds and I've got 7 minutes to do it in? I mean, we talked about 3/4 of a second per minute to make up. Now it's a second per minute.
Yeah, it's getting less and less likely. That's why I said had to be that lap, and yeah, can't see it at the moment. You just got to go out. You just got to enjoy the rest of the race, right? Have a good battle, and maybe someone has a disconnect. We've already had a couple of them.
We have
got a couple of drivers blinking out there. You know, it can happen.
Sorchek's been having a bit of a blink I've spotted, so hopefully that doesn't persist for him. Taras had a disconnect only literally in the last race after running strongly. He's going to be praying he won't have that again, but we're at the calm point, just over half race. So let's take a little look at some of the great action we've had so far here today, and then I mean, cost. So Labshire even, you see that pulls instantly over. There's Plist in the middle. It's the touch and he gets turned. There's Zanon. So this is the big incident I think we saw where there's 2 or 3 cars. No, it's not. So Zanon then just gets caught up and turned, unfortunately for him. So that's why we love these cars. And it's such great wheel-to-wheel racing. I mean, it's probably the closest racing you have and the highest performance gain. No. Right, this is Collishaw in the middle. This is what I was looking forward to see. And it's that little nudge from behind, isn't it? One nudge is all it takes.
I was watching the live cameras at the same time this time, just
Thank
to
you.
make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, we don't have another one.
And we didn't. So
Let's say a 101 faux pas. Yeah, you've got 2 eyes. There's 2 pictures going on. One eye on one on the other, so you don't miss anything. But no, we got so engrossed and ingrained into the action that was happening on the replays, bringing back the memories that we didn't spot what happened on the live. Talking live, Pahontu is, I think the cars behind, I mean, just about to say, they feel like they're being held up behind him. You know, the way that everyone, the top 5 are getting away from them. Equally though, no one could get past Pahontu. So actually, are they really being held up, Alex?
I mean, just good defensive driving, I think, at the moment. Yeah, in terms of making sure he gets off corners well, I think that's the key. If you're following someone, it's always easy just to stay right there. As a move potentially here.
Yeah, that's Saris ahead of Cypher.
Going for fourth.
And they've also caught up onto the back of Espadina as well, the Portuguese driver currently third, the AM. So this chance for a podium in the B final. See 3 cars all over that last spot.
Pereira wide there. Wonder what's going on. Lost
Yes,
there.
yes, Pasquale.
Yeah, I do feel like there's a bit of damage on Pereira. He's just not able to do it. We'll see if Pasquale makes a move pretty quickly here, then we'll definitely know, I think.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought, it's only a few scratches, it'll buff out. I mean, sure, that's not going to affect it too much. Sure, these cars, it's really that sensitive.
I think you just never know with the damage model. The most, tiniest little touch can cause all the...
Yeah, it can break your suspension. We've seen it numerous times, haven't we? But here at Apex Racing TV, Pro Series, as well as all the various clips and memes and such like, and then other times you can absolutely smack into something and have nothing wrong with the car. At times it's baffling, to say the least. Well, we've got 2.5 minutes remaining. That's going to get us in. I'd say, another couple. Obviously complete this lap and then one more lap. Then we'll be taking the checkered fastest sector 3 of anyone so far in the B final. I love Sochuk. He's just set that one. He's closing in on Stromeri. So that gap at around about the 7-minute mark, 8-minute mark. That window was 1.5 seconds. It's now down to 7/10, and crucially, Sawchuk is into that draft race. Just Taras just getting past Espadina there. Although Espadina just says, nope, that's my third place. I'm having it back for you. Taras says, no, you might want to rethink that one. And heads through, but Espadina just trying to find the switchback, but can't quite get there.
Oh, this is starting to liven up a little bit now. Oh
no, Thiago Pereira. If you didn't have back luck, you would not have any luck at all. And I thought, finally, he's done it. He's got into 6th, and then he ends up in 10th.
No real reaction from Pereira though on the camera. So no. I'd have been giving it the hand gestures and everything.
There might have been a keyboard being thrown across the room or something like that. No, or a reenactment of the famous Murray Walker and BTC SEMA. I'm going for first, says John Clennon as he gives someone a one-fingered salute as he drove past them. Oh, hello.
Front.
Hello, Sawchuk he's caught it. I mean, just shows when you get into that draft frame how quickly you then make up those last few tenths.
Oh no!
So he blinked, and it sent Stromeri, as Sawchuk blinked, and that's, I think, what sent Stromeri flying off. Because they were banging doors on the exit, out of club.
That is a prime example of prediction code there.
Oh yes.
It just lost the plot and didn't know what was going on. It was like, well, you were heading left. So I haven't received any more data, so I'm assuming that's what you were doing.
Well, yeah, I assume it's still here. It's a scary moment, to say the least. Wow. And apologies, that was, that was out of club. No, sorry, it was out of Luffield's, apologies. Ignore me. No conviction, it's that sort of thing.
Well, here's the check flag coming up, though.
Wow.
So perfect timing to take the lead.
Yes, wow, that was a launch and a half across the curbs there from Sawchuk. But he's going to take the victory over Stromeri, who led, every single lap.
I think he would have got it regardless, to be honest. He had the move, he had the inside, didn't he? So.
Oh. Well, that's what clearly, and if you're Italian, what you think of that?
Yeah. That's Porsche. I'll say it as it is. I mean, watch it back. There's clearly some weird netcode stuff there. You know, so I think you'd lost the place already, I'm afraid, there.
Well, Sorchak, Strameri, Taras, Espadina and Cypher all make it through. No part for Strameri is that effectively as well, he's still, first or second, he still start from the same rear of the grid. But that's by the bike. So, eliminated. We'll find out in a second because we've just moved across into the next session. But costs being, well, yeah. Sorry, Lauscher even being the big costly penalty from that one. So, Pahontu is out. He was 6th. Then it was Sproul, Pasquale, Collishaw, Molliord. So, ran out your top 10. Then Zanon, Kliss, Jordi Sevilla, Tiago Pereira in the end, 14th. You've got a feel for the bloke. Someone get that man over here. And Ivo Lauscher, after jumping the start, just pulled it over, and the Swiss driver exited the sim. That was him. Done. Dusted. Let's, whilst we're in this little warm-up session, we're going to head to a quick break now, where one of our partners here at Apex Racing TV are going to tell you all about their lovely products, and we'll be back shortly after that for the final, here from Silverstone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Wow. We started with the Clios. We finished with the Porsche. It all comes down to this. The final is nearly upon us with a penultimate round. The Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup Championship. Here on Apex Racing TV. Live and exclusive. Who is going to take it? Will we see Madsen have redemption for last week, some may argue, at Le Mans? Will it be someone else? Someone new to come to the forefront, to rise to the top? Remains to be seen. Who's going to take it? Are we going to see a dramatic result from one of the AMs? We've got so many in this final who made it through. By being there at the right time and the right moment, it's going to shake up that AM Championship like a snow globe, practically, with so many of them in here. And, yeah, I'd say about 40% of the AMs have made it through into the final. So, I mean, that's an astounding result.
Yeah, and straight through as well. I think that's made the difference, and a few more transferring through the last chance. So, yeah. That's what we like to see. Nice split up field. Makes for some interesting racing.
And talking of the racing, 18 minutes on the clock. That's how long we will have here for you. I mean, Taras is going to be praying to the internet gods. He doesn't have enough disconnect. After running strongly. Here we go. Here's your grid for the final from Silverstone. Madsen on pole. Costa joins in on the front row. Oh, look at the Germans in the front. We've got 4 in the top 7. We have Nold and Hammer making up the all-German row of 2. Then it's Jordan and Roberts. Jared Bushman's got Corey Lazarus, the top AM qualifier for company on row 4. There's Quadrup and Thomas Coates round out your top 10. Young and Salvatoriani make up row 6. Row 7, that sees McBride and Zaharia, your top AM qualifier, line up alongside him. It's Piccolo, Igor Kos. Much further down compared to his fellow pro drivers, but equally not a bad result. There's Bukema and Eisenring, Willoughby, Arant, Sorchak and Strameri, Taras and Bedina. Of course, those 2 rows of 11 and 12 being the drivers who made it through for the B final, and likewise Thompson Seifert. Wow. Here come the lights in. Oh, I can see there's quite a few drivers called to our end. They're elected to start from the pits, but here we go. Let's get ready to go racing for the final time this evening as we are green And we are away. There's a slow starter there in the midfield. I think it was Tom Roberts. Yes, we saw it earlier. A slow start. Just how bad the effect stuff. He's dropped 8 places in this opening segment. Oh no, he's one of the drivers caught up in it, and there's a fair few of them. Not the start they would have hoped for whatsoever as they all compact this tight section through the loop, through the village, through Aintree. As Cope, well, that's ambitious as he squeezes his car alongside Corby Lazarus there. I think he might just get the move done. Yes, he does.
Oh, he held on to that, Corey.
Oh,
that was, I mean, we've seen someone lose it there on lap 1. Someone in the background as well. I think that was Willoughby around. But yeah, great from Lazarus to hold on to that.
It's like a bucking bronco, wasn't it? It was all over the place, but he kept his foot in there, kept it control. Lazarus still remains in 10th for now, but as they all string through across the old start-finish straight, they've run it to the cops, building the speed, building the momentum. Here we go, full commitment through here, nothing less whatsoever, pushing those off tracks to the limit. McBride trying to get his nose in there on Lazarus. He needs to be careful with Lani. And look at Sahari up into 13. Start from here, picking up places. Ice brings up 4 into 15. Oh wow, it's all gone wrong for effect. Roberts out, Willoughby's in the pits. Disappointing.
Is that a slowdown as well for?
I would. That's Cope, isn't it?
Cope would slow down. Yep.
Oh, so it's carried straight on, just at the bottom of our screen there. I didn't quite catch. I think it's McBride.
McBride, yeah, he's the one dropping down.
Yeah, there he is. Just saw on the bottom of our pictures, just him re-emerge. Oh wow! Wow! What the opening lap this has been as Madsen leads. Oh well, it's all happening behind him. He's 1.4 seconds clear of Nold, who won last time out at Le Mans.
I assume these guys have battled to allow him to scamper away so quickly out of the draft zone. Just needs to, you know, do what he does, and should be able to hold on to this already. I know it's a bit premature to be talking like that, but he had such a dominant performance in the heat race. I can't see how they're going to catch him back up.
Quattrops dropped a few places, so he's still leading in Pro-Am, but now down to 8th overall. Just waiting for him. As there is Victor Taras making his way through. Him and fellow Pro-Am driver Olaf Sorchuk there. Was involved in that bit of an incident late with Stromeri in the end of the B final. Just that bit of contact between them, and I think it goes down to Sorchuk just having a bit of a blink. You see him blinking in the background there, on and off, like, wow, sleeping, like a Pelican crossing light, that one. Off, on. It's a fair rep for the field. Aidan Young now into the, well, trying to get onto the back of Samuel Jordan. He's got Kotrop, Lazarus, Lane, all for company behind him. As I always say that Lane, she's had an issue. He's around and he's back up and running. Luckily, no contact with the wall, but down to 15.
Just in the aftermath, not happy about that as well. Shake of the head on the camera.
Still shaking it.
Not sure quite what went down. Like I said, we only saw the aftermath of it. Just got a little bit of side by sides.
Wow.
So McBride obviously going to have to work his way back up.
Oh, the fake left, the fake right, the fake left again, and then slots it through right around the outside, squeezes his car alongside. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, isn't it, Matthew McBride?
That's what Club Corner is, such a good corner. You can actually go and, you know, attack both ways. You're happy you can carry the speed through there.
Stromeri's just got past Sahari, that from lead up the AMS. Overall, great to see those. Like Stromeri, what a start he's had. He's up 11.
Yeah, not too shabby.
I did just suddenly dawned on me that one.
Oh, is that? Who's someone was dropping down
Taras.
the order there.
I think it was Taras.
Could be. Still at +3.
Or is it I think it might be Sorchuk because there's internet blinking, possibly.
Some replays coming our way. So let's have a quick look at those.
Here we go. Roberts, you've got to feel for him.
That's the same as Jordan in our other race. Yeah.
So, right, oh, that's what happened down in the midfield.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot bigger than I first thought.
Yeah, same. Just out onto the slippy stuff. Oh yeah, Cope just pushing wide. You can see the understeer. He's full lock near enough, trying to prevent that.
Just holding on to like trying to fight it to get back again. That's a lovely little overtake there. So, talking about how that corner and how you can facilitate that move, Alex, which you showcased here live. So, I mean, Cope, that's brave and ambitious into Maggots Beckett's. Yes, we see. Oh, wow, okay. I thought we were going to see an overtake. And I was like, well, no, surely not. But then, yeah, that's the rear disappearing on you there. It shows what over-aggression at this stage of the race can pay for you. Madsen's checked out. It's all about this battle for second place. Noel, Costa, Hammer, and Bushman.
Yeah, and I think the guys have realised that as well. This is all about P2 now. No one else. But Nick is going to win this race unless something happens, some sort of connection problem or unforced error.
I didn't mention it, but to be fair, Jordan is right into the melee here as well. Lani into the pits. That's looking like he's going to be done and dusted.
Like I say, it'd be good to see Jordan maybe get a podium after having that awful start in his heat and having to recover, just to show you can kind of do it. Same thing with Young as well, who's not too far behind these guys, but I think it's going to be a tall order to work their way through this. Some tough competition ahead of him.
Last time around, Madsen set the fastest lap of the race, 2:02.76. That was 7 tenths faster.
And the rest
these guys behind.
And the
oh, sorry, I'm looking at their best. Yeah, well spotted, Alex.
So 1 second faster. Yeah, impressive.
I mean, that's how he's opened it up so dramatically and with such ease. Talking about such ease, Quattrop right now not making Aiden Young's life easy whatsoever. Dane right onto the tail of the American.
Trying to give a big thumbs up for Albert to actually cut his background out of his picture. They just look so much better when you do that and upload it to, well, either to Sam or the SDK software. But yeah, for those that want to know how to do it, just, you know, the PNG, cut your background out, it just makes it look.
And it's also a free to download app as well.
It is indeed.
The driver information. SDK Gaming.
Because it's not just us that use SDK. There's many a broadcaster now that use SDK Gaming to broadcast their series. So yeah, you can use the app and it will show up on our data as well as all of theirs.
As someone who's worked with many broadcasters, I can fully confirm you're absolutely spot on there. I don't know anyone who doesn't. But right now, talking of doesn't, Quattrop can't find a way past Young. Oh, we saw this earlier on, didn't we, with Thiago Pereira in the B final. It's just finding that little bit extra, that fraction of a difference to get the move done. Though, well, I think Lazarus might be the one who's going to get past Quattrop here, rather than Quattrop being the one getting past Young.
Yeah, it does look to be a bit more aggressive, having a little look into Village on the loop, sorry.
Again, just missing those fine margins to be able to get it done. So to take you through the standings, I mean, we're half race distance right now. Madsen leads by a country mile, 3 seconds clear of that battle for second. Noel, Costa, Hammer, Bushman, Jordan. There we've got Young in 7th. You can see it leading this train with Quattrop, Lazarus right behind him. Quattrop and Lazarus, your top 2 in Pro-Am. Cope, he's down in a little bit of a bubble by himself. There he is. Then there's your leader in Costa has passed Noel, I believe, so that's a bit of a change around there. But yeah, Stromeri leading in AM up 11 places into 11th. Sorchuk, he's up to an incredible 9 into 12th, and there's Padina second in class and currently up 11. And also Sorchuk, he's going to run out that podium as things stand at the moment in Pro-Am. That's Espadina and Rance to complete that podium in with the Isaac, Cypher, McBride, Taras, Lani, Del Piccolo, Zaharia, who of course held that lead in for quite a while, became Cost, and then Robertson Willoughby. Well, a negative effect for the effect simulation team. They are out in the opening lap, not able to emulate the great form we saw earlier in the Clios. Their teammate Jack Wilson in that series picking up the victory and lost the first challenge. And Quattro AI has a look again. And this says to me, Alex, especially with, you know, it's such a short race, as a bit of not desperation, but just getting a bit more aggressive and without asserting this so much, and just starting to run out of ideas on what to do and how to get past.
I mean, indeed, but you know, keep piling that pressure on, because it can just force, you know, a little error, and actually then, you know, it's easier to overtake someone when they make a mistake. So I think, yeah, just keep showing your nose here, there, and make it look like you're having a look. What's going on here? Stop for a moment. Yeah, Thorsten was a little slow off the corner, but everything seems fine.
Yeah, they'll settle back down into one another, haven't they? That little group. Of course, they are battling away for the last two podium places in... sorry, the last podium... Yes, apologies. Last two podium places. My eyes had a little moment there. There's Espadina and Isa in currently second and third in class right now. Cypher, Rance making a four-way fight over two positions on the podium. Well, Rance may be taking out the equation for now, as that's McBride past him. Though instantly fighting back as Rance, but I don't think he's going to have enough, and that's surely going to look like it is Rance, who's then ran in deep by Victor Taras, who's then squeezed wide himself. No messing, Rance, he's not giving this one up. He's like a dog with a bone.
I kind of expected McBride to recover a little bit more than what he had. Obviously, I know he had his issues, and looks absolutely fine, but I just expected to see him to pick back up. It's just really not happened for him.
Yeah, let's take a little look at the replays for everything. Kicks off the apologies. I mean, a five-way cut fight over last place in the podium. So here's McBride. Yeah, that was the incident. Oh, that was close to nearly a secondary contact there, wasn't it? So here's Sahar. That's what. Wow, all by himself, Sahar. He almost got spooked by the car on the inside. So, what happens to him? I think he ran a bit wide, and then yes, then got himself into a bit of contact. I guess it's the American. So this is the second place. Wow, there you go. It's just wide. That's what allowed Costa past Knoll. As Bushman has dropped place to Jordan in live pictures. Can't get over just how much Madsen has managed to pull away from Costa. I mean, obviously when Nold was leading that little group, yeah, obviously
he's lapping quite a bit faster in patches, and I feel that's just when they're battling mostly. And I think that's what released him at the start. Since then, he's just been consistent. They've not really been able to close down. 10th here, 10th there. They have a battle, and then they lose a second.
Yeah, easy as that. But still battles up and down the field as Taras finally gets past the second time of asking. Some maggots there. And Rance drops a position, and I mean, got to feel for Rance, because when that happens, you just see yourself being taken out of the equation for battling for a podium in class. It's what now that Rance does with it, and does he stay on the back of Taras and McBride and try and use them as a bit of a battering ram to get himself inside those podium places in class?
I mean, if you can, you've got the 3.5 minutes to kind of hold on to him. Yeah, maybe.
But spot on there. I hadn't even spotted the clock, Alex. That's a really good point there.
Yeah, the race has actually gone by relatively quickly.
Oh, Madsen! Oh, no, I think that was just a disconnect. I saw on our live timing, just a couple. Oh,
I've had our fair share of them today.
we have. And then you suddenly
Thank you
see
for the producer, just for putting our minds at ease by going to him as well.
I saw him tumbling. I think no, surely not. Someone is leaning by a country mile, and then all of a sudden that happens to you. That's absolutely soul-destroying. I think. Like my monitor might have a big round hole where I punched it straight through it if that's something like that happened to me if I was Nick Madsen. But looking incredibly comfortable at the top. It's all about that battle for second, though, with 5 cars embroiled in it. When do they start getting a bit more aggressive, Alex? Because, as you said, that clock is ticking down. It's a long lap around here. Let's looking at where they are on the clock, on the track. So they've got probably this lap, and I'm going to guess the next lap, and then checkered. Yeah,
I think so.
this is penultimate lap.
Yeah, I think the end of this lap is where it starts to get a little bit more tasty.
Should they even go earlier than that, potentially? I mean, they're starting to space themselves out a little bit. Nolan and Costa are starting to break away. Howard just staying in touch with them. Well, this looks a lot more dramatic than probably what it is in the car from that angle.
I've seen a lot more moves into maggots today than I honestly expected to see.
Yeah, what is that about? You don't overtake going into there. There's far better overtaking opportunities, but as usual, this lot don't get the memo and find all weird and wonderful places to overtake.
So if you can get it done and hold on to it, well, why not? Yeah. Well, like I say, just so unusual. I wonder again if that's just the Cops Corner's just that much more challenging now that they put the slowdown on the on the exit.
Exactly.
I mean, you have to run a long way wide still to get that, I think. For a moment, but Ed was going to get just a little bit of an overlap to carry it around the outside. Nick blinking again.
Oh, well, no. Hopefully his internet can hold out for another minute and 5 seconds. It's all it needs to hold out, Nick Madsen. It's all your internet needs to hold out. Well, we've got, sit rep, second place. That's got a 4-way battle going on right now as they're spacing out. Actually, no, I think realistically that's 3 cars. Costa, Nolan and Hammer fighting for that one. Then Am is where it's at in the next one, where you've got Cypher. Actually, Cypher looking a bit more comfortable in third in class. Espadina is at second in front of him. So maybe that one's starting to nullify a little bit. 8 tenths between first and second in Pro-Am. It's where...
definitely going to be the last lap, though, isn't it?
It is.
20 seconds to go, so it's all going to come down to a head at the end of Hangar Straight, I think.
I think it is. I'll intrigued what's going to happen with that top group. Here they are, right on cue. But then they've got, that's the thing, you've got the Hangar Straight, haven't you, Alex? That slipstream, are they close enough? You've got to push it, you've got to give it everything you got. You can't leave anything on the table, guys. This is all or nothing time. The clock has run out. For 18
that was a little bit
minutes.
of grass there from Hammer, I think.
Hammer could even lose the 4th place to Bushman there, potentially, but, well, it built itself up to a crescendo and then fizzled out completely and utterly like a just rubbish firework. And Madsen takes victory by 3.7 seconds.
Great job.
Nold.
Every lap he kept blinking towards the end there as well. I was like, don't do it. It was the reverse commentator's curse I was going for.
Yes, I saw it. It was it's almost. Oh, I was praying it wasn't going to be the same.
Great job from Matteo as well for winning.
It's up 10 places as well.
Yeah, it's shabby.
Sorchuk, who's finishing just in front of him 11th. He was at 10 as well. Espadina and Seifert, they're up 11 apiece. That midfield, I tell you what, outside that top 10, you either gained big or you lost big, and there's nothing in between. Nothing whatsoever. Wow. In the build-up, I called him Nick Madsen after his outing last week at Le Mans. That contact that cost him dearly, but, well, it's been all about clinical efficiency here today from Silverstone. We're going to take a look at some highlights, and we're back in the studio to have a bit of a chat with some of our drivers. We'll see you shortly.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Wow, I mean, in some ways, it sort of fizzled out a little bit, that final for me. I mean, it was building, like, you could see it all coming together. That key battle for second place overall with 5 cars all pretty much stacked. You got the battle for AM as well, the lead in Pro-Am. It was all just coming together nicely, and then in the end, it just, well, I mean, it failed to deliver in some ways, but Nick Madsen, you can't deny the clinical precision and the way he completely and utterly controlled, dominated, and just owned that race.
Just imperfect wrong, I think that's the thing. Got a great start. We've seen a few people struggle with starts, so he was able to just get himself free. The guys obviously were battling behind on that first lap. Broke the draft straight away. Just never really looked back. Didn't make any mistakes. I think that's the main thing.
I think, should we have a bit of a chat to him? Straight with the iron's hot.
2 laps. So.
There we go.
Sorry, Nick, dragging you in.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you through your conversation. Joined by race winner Nick Madsen. Well, Nick, I mean, a bit of redemption after last week at Le Mans, but even so, I mean, we were literally just saying about it. You absolutely controlled that one today, certainly in the final, and from early on, there didn't look like anyone else that could win it. Did it feel like that for you? Oh, can you hear him your end? I've
not got him.
Oh, I'm not sure whether Nick, can you hear us?
I'm here, yes.
Oh, yes, there you go. You can hear us. I was saying, obviously, you controlled the race massively. And, you know, obviously, as you break the draft early on, and it looked like no one else was going to be able to get even close to you, let alone challenge you. Did it feel like that from your perspective in the final?
Yeah, I wanted to have a good start and pull away to outside the second to the gap. To the guys behind, and then more or less control the race from there. But yeah, finally a start to finish win. So that's awesome for the championship points.
And I'll see. Yeah, rewind a little bit earlier in this evening. The heat certainly not as comfortable for you compared to the final. I think you're going to really struggle to find a really dominating display in comparison to the final. But however, I mean, even so, you know, you seem to be really strong on pace there as well.
Yeah, actually, I was doing a Danish Porsche Cup here against some really good Danish drivers. Some is also competing in Porsche Esports Super Cup. So and I took a feature win race here. So yeah, I got good minds from Silverstone, and I really love this track. The flow is amazing here, and yeah. I thought when I saw the calendar in the beginning of this season that Silverstone is one of my favorite tracks. So yeah, that's seen from the results today.
Wow, I mean, what could I say? Completely and utterly dominant display, Nick. Congratulations. Before I let you go, anyone you want to give a shout out to us all?
Yeah, you guys again, always for a great broadcast, and this season has been quite awesome. Now last round coming on Nordschleife, and I'm really looking forward to it and try to see what we can do there. But yeah, awesome race today, and great broadcast as always.
Well, looking forward to seeing you in a week's time at the Nordschleife. That's your race winner here, Nick Madsen. I mean, I like Nick. He said Silverstone's brilliant, and we're great as well. I mean, if you want to get yourself into the interviews at the end, just the 2 great things to say, and just drop every single time. But I mean, different league, completely different gravy today was Nick Madsen. Nobody could, I mean, unless I know he broke the draft and they were battling behind him, but ultimately, I mean, even in qualifying, no one could hold a candle to him.
Good quality, good heat, you know, good final. I think that's why, you know, wins the race.
Definitely. It's well. Hello to the audience of the second interview.
Yeah, thank you, Aidan. Hello. Just checking you can hear me, okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, congratulations on your race meeting today. You had a bit of up and down, I would say, throughout today. Obviously, you're off in the heat, but you managed to obviously consolidate your position, get yourself straight through to the final, and then sort of mid sort of top 10 as well for that final. I mean, how was it from your side?
I would say it went pretty good. I mean, I struggle driving the Porsche Cup around Silverstone, as you could probably tell from when the camera would pan to me every now and then. You'd see just like when I come out of the corners, I would struggle with the rear end. I'm just not very good at getting the power down correctly around this track and this car. And then obviously the brakes were something I had to learn for this track, because for me, and this is just my opinion, but to me it felt like my car had almost no front grip, no front bite at all, so I struggled with a bit of understeer, as well as like my brakes, they felt like they were always cold the entire time, so I was either on the verge of locking up or locking up just in general and then going off and losing a position or two.
Yeah, and like you say, that's exactly what we saw, that little lock up. But you didn't let that get to you. You recovered really quickly and made sure that you qualified towards the final, which was the key thing. Anything you think you could have done differently with the with the car to help with the braking, the lock-in, and trying to improve in the final? See, trying to break into that top 5, I would suggest, has got to be your goal. You're just on the outside looking in at the minute.
Yeah, top 5 was my goal. It was definitely possible this race. I mean, I knew in that heat I had the pace, because I saw once I got to 4th, I was like, okay, I'm pulling away here. I'm like, I think I could achieve my first top 5 in this league, and that'd be a big accomplishment for me, because obviously this league, for a league, the SOF is pretty high. I think it was like 4 something thousand a day, which is pretty amazing for a league race. And then also all the drivers here, they're all super fast, so it's super hard, so would have been outstanding if I would have had it, but I think I just forgot that it was still only second lap, and that my brakes were still on the cold side, and I just got a little over ambitious, tried to go a bit deeper, thinking that my brakes were already heated up from the braking techniques that I had done on the first lap, but got a little over ambitious and then just went a little bit too deep, and then learned the hard way, I would say.
Well, I think it's still a really good race meeting overall, and you need to be happy with that result. And yeah, let's see how you can do in the final round and see if you can go one better.
Yeah, hopefully I can. I mean, I'm either gonna miss next round or I'm gonna make it. But we'll see how things end up. But if I do end up making it, then top 5 is definitely gonna be my goal. I love Nürburgring. I've done probably practice around that track, because I'm usually not the best. I'll either make consistent laps or I'll end up in the barrier at the midway through the race, which obviously is not what you want. So I have probably around, just practicing over the past couple of weeks and months, I probably have at least about 4,000 to 5,000 laps on that track, so it's quite a bit.
Well, it sounds like the prep is right there, so I'll wish you all the best of luck for that one, and hope that you can turn up, and yeah, it'd be a shame for all that practice to go to waste. So yeah, with that, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yes, I'd like to thank my team, No Limit Sim Racing, all of their sponsors, so Joe Deep Balleting, their new sponsor, ARMA, jerseys and apparel. Then obviously Alex for when I first joined the team, bringing me on, warm welcoming me, and then all the other owners there, my teammates for watching, supporting and cheering me on this race, just like every race. Then my friends and family for watching as well, and then my friend who helped me with the setup this week, and then obviously the team owner, one of the team owners, Alex, for sending me a setup as a base, and then me and my friend. I can't thank my friend enough for helping me edit the setup and get a pretty good setup that felt good for me and gave me the pace to do pretty good today. And then you guys for your awesome commentary every race. You always do an outstanding job.
You haven't heard this one back. I've been on this one, so you might want to take that back.
No. You still do an outstanding job. Every round, every time you guys hop in the booth, it's always great.
Awesome. Thanks, Aiden. You have a pleasant evening, and yeah, congrats again for your result. And let's say best of luck for the next round.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Well, there was the driver. I mean, interestingly, you know, saying how he's struggling with the front brakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I hear from like Jamie and Johan, Alex Sanchez, all of them getting the brakes in, you know, that first couple of laps is really, really important. You just got to be wary of it, and then once everything's up to temperature, you can kind of be really aggressive with the car.
So I think what you're saying ultimately is that Aiden there could benefit with a one-on-one coaching session or a great coach session from Apex Racing Academy.
I mean, I appreciate that.
I do believe that's what you're trying to say, Alex, isn't it?
I was about to say, thank you very much for that, Tim. No, that is not absolutely what I was saying, but absolutely
It was what he was trying to say.
I'm certainly sure that the guys could give him a little helping hand.
Definitely, definitely. Anyway, after that little plug and segue there, well, I mean, I've just been told in my ear, there's nobody else. I mean, clearly that's why Alex is here this week. He's frightened everyone away. But I mean,
I'll take it.
Yeah, you know, it was quite a bit of like appalling segue there to help plug Apex Racing Academy. Also with their data, setup packs, track guides, and much more. Road and oval racing. If you want to go faster on track, make sure you check those guys out. I mean, what can we say? I mean, other than that. Drama, excitement, then calmed down towards the end, but the heats were the opposite, where they just got more and more crazy and exciting. And that B final, well, as well, and so many AMs making it through as well.
Yeah, good mixed bags. You know, I like to come and like to have something a little bit different, and yeah, mixed bags is good. I mean, the Clio was good fun tonight.
Oh,
the Porsche
Clios, wow,
was good. Like I say, we had some clinical driving out there tonight, and some good battles, some good side-by-side battles, and everything. So yeah, thanks for inviting me for the day, and yeah, I'm glad I could cover for Sam.
Definitely pleasure having you. I need to ask your opinion though. Nordschleife next week. I mean, on the scale of like difficulty and living life on the edge and near death, Nordschleife is right up there. You then got, you know, cars with no assists and being right on the edge. The Porsche Cup is right up there. Just let's put the two together. Why not? You know, how much death, or how close are they going to be to it next week?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky track, and I mean, I'll only go on my experience of it. So I tried to avoid it for years. I was like, you know, the thought of having to learn that monster kind of put me off for absolutely ages, but then I had to do it in a league race, and I was like, of all the cars to do it, I did it in the Kia.
Oh wow! Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, front-wheel drive, understeer hell, and but actually, yeah, it is amazing fun once you learn to drive the track. But you are always on the edge of death. I feel like that's the thing. So and yeah, these Porsches are just a bit of a beast. I heard a little comment. I think the guys were talking about the Nürburgring 24 special event coming up, and they're expecting the Porsche Cup to be faster than the GT3 on the straights with the bop. I like to say, maybe I've just spilled some information there or whatever like that, but that just goes to show you how fast that Porsche Cup is, you know, so it is, yeah, it's crazy.
So again, I think what you're saying is to avoid death, they just need to book a coaching session with Apex Racing Academy. There we go. There we go. On that bombshell.
It'll be in the post later.
Yeah, it will be indeed. Don't you worry, I'll make sure it is. Or well, at least payment for the Mackies I brought you earlier anyway. All good stuff. But no, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations to Nick Madsen. Clinical. Just redemption after last week at Le Mans. What can we say? Silverstone. It always brings the excitement, the drama, and we've got that aplenty. Clio's and Porsche Cup. But I've been Tim Cox with Alex Simpson, and we'll see you in a week's time. Sam will be back with myself here in the studio for the Nordschleife, baby. Final round of the season. We'll see you then.